Yesterday I got an interesting question from Mohib Quadri, and today I'll try to answer to the best of my abilities. Here is his question. Sir, I am an MEP HVAC engineer, so which course should I do to enter BIM and what to study essentially for quicker growth without confusion? This is a quite complex question and there are many factors that are playing in here, but let's give it a try. First and foremost, I would like to understand something. He says that he is working as a MEP HVAC engineer, but he does not specify in which capacity. Does he work in the field? Does he do any modeling? Because this can have a huge impact, right? Then there is something else. Do you want to develop yourself in your current role, or you want to look for a job and switch completely to a full new role? These two things are very important, so I would start here. I would try to clarify this first. Let me put this here. Something else which is also very important is how many years of experience do you have in the industry. All these things are important and I would be able to help you better if I would have this data. Now, because I don't know, I will just make some assumptions, okay? Then I would try to look at and see what do I actually want to do? Like, what do you want to do actually? What kind of BIM role do you want? Do you want to be a BIM modeler? You have more options, of course. And maybe BIM modeler would be the, I don't know if easiest, but most natural to jump into because you would be able to use your existing experience. But if you worked in the field, then there is also a good chance that you can also work as a BIM coordinator. BIM manager, I don't know, depends. It would be a bit unnatural to jump straight to that job without having any previous experience in another BIM role. So depending on these answers, then you would know what to do. Yeah, this here, modeler or technician maybe as well, which are not the same, but yeah, there are possibilities for you. BIM coordinator as well, depending on the experience that you have with different tools. So I would say that definitely the most attainable one would be the BIM modeler, BIM technician path, because then you can just focus on one specific software. Of course, we can take as an example Revit, is definitely not wrong, but I would look at the current market. Depends where you live. I would look at the jobs and see what they require, and I would focus and try to learn that tool. With that in mind, then you have different resources. Depending on how much time you want to invest and how much time you have available and how much money, how much resources do you have to spend, I would go and look for courses on different platforms. I think LinkedIn Learning is very good to get started and maybe also for more advanced, and it gets you to get to know the tool very well, but it costs, I think, somewhere around $20 or $25 a month. But I think, yeah, maybe in 2 months, you will not need more than 2 months, because in 2 months you'll be able to go quickly through the course. Then you have, of course, YouTube. You find many great resources on YouTube. There are a lot of YouTube channels focused on Revit, but now I don't know how many of them are specifically on MEP. I'm sure you'll find something on LinkedIn. I'm assuming, of course. Maybe you find also something on Udemy. And I'm also sure that if you join some groups on LinkedIn, there are these groups like BIM Experts and Revit group, which both of them are very large. And in the BIM Experts, for example, you will see very often a lot of people promoting their courses. So again, if you have some resources and want to save some time, then I would go and buy and try a few courses. There is a chance that you can be lucky and succeed with the first one, but most of the time for me it did not really work out, so I needed to try more. But again, you need to start somewhere, and then after going through these courses, try to build up some real experience. Try to build some different specific projects. Like, you can of course use your existing situation, even if you are working in the field or working already, I don't know, maybe making drawings and want to switch to a BIM role. Then I would look and see, okay, how can I model this? Right? How can I make a model for this project? Now I'm assuming that you have access to a license in a way or another. So yeah, that's up to you, but it doesn't need to be Revit. Again, I would look at the local market and I would see what the recruiters are requiring for these roles. And I will start there. And again, I would focus firstly on getting my foot in the door, and I'll start with a BIM modeler, BIM technician role. I'll focus on this because for BIM coordinator it might be a bit too stressful, or maybe the jump too high. Now depends on you and in the market you are working in, because you need to know more tools, and yeah, it's a bit trickier. On the other hand, BIM modeler should fit you like a glove and should be the most natural way of breaking into the BIM world. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any other information you can give me regarding your situation, then I can try to provide a sequel with more tailored advice.